Hey guys, welcome back to another Dirt Rally 2.0 how-to video. First off, again, I want to throw a huge shout out to everybody who's been subscribing. We just recently hit over 1,000 subs on the channel, so that is absolutely amazing. So I just want to throw a really quick shout out to everybody who has been joining the community lately.
3 left over crest, into 5 right over crest, into 6 right long over crest, into 6 left over crest, 50, 3 right over dip tightens, into 5 left, opens middle of a crest, 60, 6 right long, tighten short, 3.
So we've all been there. We're driving down a really fast section. Phil's rattling off pace notes, and you're thinking, what does all of this stuff mean? What am I supposed to do with this information? Well, today I'm going to break down exactly what those pace notes mean and how to take the ideal line through that section. Pace notes contain a lot of information about what's coming up in the stage ahead of you. So Phil's going to be calling out your left and rights and all that, all that fun stuff. But what you really want to pay attention to is the numbers that come ahead of those turns. So you're going to hear anything between a 6 and a 1. And what those numbers mean is that's related to how sharp of a corner that is. So say a right 6 is a pretty shallow corner. You can usually go through those pretty much flat out. But if he says something like left 1, that's a pretty tight corner. So you're going to hear 1 through 6. You're going to hear square. You're going to hear hairpin and sometimes acute. So a square is exactly what it sounds like. It's a 90 degree corner. Hairpin, obviously, I think we all know what a hairpin is. And then acute is actually tighter than a hairpin. A hairpin can be fairly wide. Acute means it is a very, very tight hairpin, essentially, is what that means. So what this information is going to do is it's going to let you know what corners are coming up next. I personally have my co-driver calls set as early as they will go so that I can get a better idea of what's coming in the stage as I'm driving. So let's go over here to our super accurate Microsoft Paint diagram, and I'll kind of explain to you how you can use the information in the pace notes to take the ideal line through a stage. So let's take this for an example. So if the pace note, if what Phil calls is something like a right 4, 30, left 5, what that means is you have a right 4, and the number 30 is going to be a distance that's straight. So you have a kind of tight right turn. You've got a little bit of a straight into a left 5. So what that would look like is that would end up looking something like this. That would go kind of, say, like this. So you've got a little bit of a straight, and then it comes out here, right? Now, what you would ideally want for your race line in this particular instance is you're going to want to come in, just say this is another straight coming off over here, right? So your ideal line is going to look something like this. You're going to want to come through, hug this corner, and boom, shoot straight out, right? So that would be your ideal line for this pace note call. Now, let's say for just a demonstration, and this is how important your pace notes are going to be. Let's say, for example, you have over here, so this left 5 then turns into a tightens 3, okay? So what this is going to end up looking like is going to be something, again, similar to what we had before. We're going to have our kind of our right 4, our little bit of a straight. It's going to come up over here and then tighten. So we've got our little road, my super scientific accurate drawings here. I think my right 4 could be a little bit tighter, but for the sake of the example. So before, as I said, what our line was before this tightens 3 was coming in something like this, right? Assuming this was straight. Now, if you take this same line coming through here, you're going to end up way off over on the side right here. And you don't want that because you're going to have to slow down a lot to make this corner. So in this instance, what your ideal line is going to look like is you're going to come through here, you're going to kind of hug this outside, and then cut in. I mean, you know, you can assume this is straight coming out of here, but so this blue line with this Titans 3, and this is how important knowing what 2 or 3 turns ahead, this is why this is important, because if you stop listening at the left 5, you would end up coming straight through here, and then you would have to hit the brakes really, really hard, losing time and speed to come through here. Whereas if you know right 4, 30, left 5, Titans 3, you're going to know, okay, I need to come in close here, and I can hang out wide coming through this 5 because I have to come in on 3. Because where you're going to gain your most time is keeping your momentum and keeping the car going as straight as possible. If you take this red drive line here, you're going to have to hit the brakes really, really hard, turn really sharp, and that's going to cost you a lot of speed, momentum, and time. Whereas if you take the blue line, you may be driving a little bit slower overall, but because you're taking this ideal line, you're going to end up coming out much, much faster than you did if you were going to be taking this red line. So as I explained briefly in that little visual demonstration there, what your drive line, your ideal drive line, is you're going to try to be going as straight as possible through everything. Because the straighter you're going, the more speed you can gain, you know, higher speed you can maintain, things like that. So knowing what's coming up in your corners is really going to help you to maintain that speed and try to keep the car going as fast as possible, because that's where you're going to gain the most amount of time. So, you know, you're going to want to be hitting your apexes in your corners. You know, to hit the apex, you really have to know where the apex of that corner is. In that example, you know, the apex between just that left 5 and the apex between that left 5 Titans 3 are 2 very, very different things, and that can be the cost of seconds in a rally, and seconds is what you don't want to lose. So I know this, you know, this was a little bit of a shorter video, but there's not really a whole lot to go over. I think, you know, if I missed something, please let me know down in the comments. And, you know, if you like the video, be sure to hit the like button. Also hit the subscribe button. I know a lot of you people have already been doing that, but if you could do that, that helps me a lot. And as always, I'm streaming Dirt Rally 2 on Twitch every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. Central Time. Most of the time on Wednesdays, starting at 8 p.m. Central Time. And you never know, I might actually be live right now as you finish watching this video. So go ahead, check that out. Drop a follow there on Twitch. And yeah, like I said, if you have any further questions, let me know down in the comments, and I will try to answer everything as much as I can. That is it for the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.